Hey peeps, welcome or welcome back to another video. I'm Volt and I make webcomics. So I wanted to talk to you today about commonplacing and commonplace books. They've kind of made a resurgence in popularity in the past recent few years, but I wanted to share with you what that looks like from maybe one artist's perspective or how one artist keeps a commonplace book. Now, I don't just have one, I have, as you can see, several, but I wanted to talk a little bit about how I apply that to my art or my practice or what inspires me. So I'm gonna run down first what a commonplace book is, even though there are a ton of videos telling you what it is before people go into it, but I wanted to give you a brief rundown. So a commonplace book is a journal. It can be any kind of journal or notebook that you collect your interests in, usually information you learn that you like to refer back to, or your favorite quotes from a book. I know a ton of people keep one for quotes, and I think that's how it was originally. People who used to write, like John Locke, they all kept commonplace books of their favorite quotes or things that they learned, and that helped inform their writing a whole lot. So yeah, it's an old practice that, like I said, had a recent resurgence, and now just about everybody who journals likes to say they keep a commonplace book. So why do I commonplace as an artist? Well, I like to keep references for later study, quick and handy, notes on technique, but not just art, anything that informs my lifelong practice of art. So let me show you, this is my main commonplace book where just about anything goes. The art is by Marlo Loon. This is a postcard, a part of their postcard membership thing that I used to be a part of. But I like this cover, so I just added it to the commonplace book to make it more eye-catching, because I have so many journals that I will lose track of them if I don't decorate them somehow on the front. So let's get into it. By the way, this is a Midori MD notebook. It's a grid. I like grid, but this is my commonplace book. I started it May 2022, and I'm still not even halfway through it. I like to take my time entering information on it. So yeah, I like to put different kinds of things in here. You might ask why keep a commonplace book when you could just keep a sketchbook? And I do keep a sketchbook, but I keep both. And I consider my sketchbook more of an active study exploration, where I can be more hands-on experimental, whereas my commonplace book is more of a passive study. I may copy pertinent notes into it or information that I find valuable, this is a brief history on alchemy that I do actually go back to occasionally and look over just in case I'm tripping and I forget something, because a lot of my comic has to do with alchemy, but that's a genuine interest that I have. So I'm not necessarily drawing in it, as you can see. I'm not journaling too many personal thoughts. I'm just collecting and curating interests and info that I want to refer to later. Here's a page on spagyrics, which is a division of alchemy having a lot to do with plants. Here's my... So as this is my main commonplace, I put different things in it, like I said. Quotes from my favorite literature. A few pages ago, I had quotes from If We Were Villains. And I really liked how I did this. There are a lot of really good quotes in that book, and I really kind of want to reread it. But there's also, let's see, more things about alchemy, the alchemical operations. There's even art technique stuff, like how to paint backgrounds, and some names that I wrote down. Nature of the soul, beyond the veil. Some of this is actually for comic lore, so this is alchemy in the lore of the world of my comic, and some things about the magic system, but it's not too much of oh, here's a personal journaling thing. A lot of this stuff just has to do with things I'm interested in, like I said. And I kind of almost fell into making this a project management journaling thing, but I kind of reeled against it after this page. And some notes on dark academia. And you know, there's going to be some other things like Greek mythology that I really love Greek mythology, solidifying a game plan for learning a language. Here it is, the Iliad, stuff that I wrote down for the Iliad because I love like referring back to Greek mythology. Some notes I took from Color and Light from James Gurney. So you see, like, it's kind of a catch-all sort of journal, and I actually, in the back, how I'm able to refer to this all the time is that I have an index, and it's an alphabetical index, and just about everything that I put in here, I come to the back here, and then I put the page number in. I just have to like kind of put the page number in the corner here. You can see it. And then I'll go, okay, well, if I want to go refer back to the Iliad, that's I in pages 32 and 33, and I can go back to that. If I want to look back on the Cult of Done, which is like, it was a YouTube video that I stumbled across about like getting things done and not letting the perfection get to you. I'm like, okay, well, I spent like pages 26 and 27. I would go back there and read about it again. If I assume that I'm going to be writing more about the Iliad, I don't close the parenthesis. I just leave it open. And that is how I refer back to this journal. I had like, this is like the old index that I had that I thought would work. But then I tried, I think this is called the lock method of indexing, which is an alphabetical order, and everything that like starts with whatever the subject is, you put it in that letter and then you refer to the page number. Like alchemy has a lot of like references to it. I put like 4 to 9 on the first instance that I wrote about alchemy, and I might write about it again, so there's a comma here just in case I add more pages. So, and there's plenty of room, so hopefully I don't run out. But as I use this, I find it to be very valuable. This is a passage online from Creative Illustration by Andrew Loomis, which I'm slowly going through as an art study. So like I said, this is more of a passive way of studying art. I copy down things that are pertinent to me that I find like I really want to get back to, that I don't want to forget in my studies. And then like my sketchbook is more of an active study time, and sometimes I do that digitally, but I tend to note take physically, because if I try to do these things digitally, I will lose track of it. I won't be able to find it after a while. For some reason, digital files escape me. Whereas if I had like a physical journal of something, I can go, okay, I know it's in this journal, and I know where that journal is most of the time, because like I said, I do have a lot of journals. Actually, yeah, like I said, I have more than one, each with their own themes. So I'm gonna show you the tiny one. So now this one is my, this is pertaining to all of like my webcomic, The Alchemist Collective. So I actually have a video of me setting that one up. I'll put it somewhere in the description or in the top of the screen. But like, I set this journal up recently, so there's not much in it, but it's characters and plot and chapters and ideas and lore. Whatever it is, it all goes in here for record keeping and exploration of ideas. So I'm gonna like take you through that. I've done a bit more in it since I did the setup video. So like, here's a premise, and this is like the chapter cover. That it's unfinished, but like it's finished in on the actual page. And like chapter 1 and like the main characters spread, because you know they gotta go first, right? And you know, like some different little ideas for, and here's Lady Gertrude here, you can see her. And I wrote about her because she's kind of important in the story too. But yeah, it's just like little things like that. All of that goes in here, and I'm enjoying using it. And I have somewhere that I can go, oh, well, I don't have an index for it though, which I may make eventually, but I haven't numbered these pages, so we'll see how that goes. But that is for The Alchemist Collective, and I keep all my stuff in here, and sometimes I bring it with me in case I get inspired, and then I can just open this tiny little book. I don't have to like carry this around. I just open this tiny little book, jot things down, and yeah, that's for my webcomic, and it helps me with my writing, it helps me with my planning, and that's what that's for. Now, I have a Commonplace that I do take with me, my traveler's notebook. I don't use this as much, but sometimes I'll have things that I want to write down that I'll go, oh, well, wait a minute. Actually, this is not the one that I use actively. This one. So this is my field notes, and I got this one recently. And I put some information down, like about studies and stuff, and how like I want to do this art study for like 90 days. And if it works out, I might transcribe all this information because this is a tiny book, right? And once I'm done with it, I don't know whether I'm going to pick it back up again because it's like an on-the-go thing. It just fits in my wallet here. So I might actually transcribe whatever information that I put here on the go into this big one that I know is useful and works. So that's how I manage my stuff. That's why this book is so big. It doesn't really go with me anywhere. I take notes on the go and I transcribe them here. Or if I find a cool video, I might put them here, like notes on them here, or cool book thing that I found, you know, things like that. It just keeps my brain going. It just helps organize my brain. This may seem like a lot of books, but believe it or not, if I tried to do this digitally, I would have lost half of this already. So that's just how my mind works. And you can find the thing that's right for you, because this whole system is something that I've been developing for a while, and this is what helps me keep track of things. Oh, there's one more that there is actually one more that I have to share with you. Not have to share, but like this one I just started actually, but this is the artist influence one. So this is artists that I want to learn from. They all go in here. They're what I like about their techniques and what specifically I want and don't want to learn from them. These are just artists that have stuck with me over time, ones that I found recently. I actually don't know how weird it would be because I have like examples of their art in here, but I don't know how weird it would be to like share that online. I was like, oh, you're weird for pasting other people's art into your book, but I guess I did that here. So, but like I don't want to do that right now. But the thing about it is that like I don't always want to go to Pinterest for art reference. I don't always want to go because like if I try to go to Pinterest, I'm gonna spend 5 hours there. It's gonna happen, or I'm gonna spend my whole day pitting things in the correct categories. I don't know. Like, I like Pinterest and everything, but it's easy to go down a rabbit hole. I guess I can share like one page with you. Oh yeah, I always put like a mission statement for every book that I start. So the purpose of this book is to collect and curate other techniques, finishes, notes, and stylings I want to incorporate into my own work. A running document of who is inspiring me and how they are achieving certain color, line, and atmosphere. My goal isn't to copy any one artist, but to learn from each one I encounter. So the first one I can actually show you is a spread I did on JC Leindecker, and I took my little photo Canon thing and I saved some pictures and printed them out for reference so that I can like visually get a quick visual. Like I know his work like really well. I have a book of his that like has a bunch of his work in it, but I like to note down what I like about his work, who he was, and the sort of elements of his work that I really like. I really like his color, I like his composition, I like his line, I like his brush strokes, but I especially do like his composition. The only thing I don't want to get from him that I know a lot of other artists do, like kind of copy from him, is that everything kind of looks like an ad, like kind of centered, and like it looks like an old ad copy, which was his job. That's what he did. He did advertisements and he did like covers for the Saturday Evening Post for a really long time, and so a lot of his work looks like very centered, very focused. It tells a story, but at the same time it's like you can tell that it's an ad for something, right? And that's kind of not what I really want to get from his work. There are other elements of his work that I really, really like, but that's just an example of like this Commonplace book, what this is for. They're all very focused books, except for this one, which is a catch-all. Like I said, they're kind of, I like to do it by subject and I like to do this and like the analog method. So that's just kind of how I've been record keeping in a way. And that really, being analog really helps me. So that's this video. I hope you guys enjoyed kind of like taking a peek through my Commonplace book as an artist and what I put in there. Like I said, I don't really draw in these. That's what my sketchbook is for. But yeah, it's good to put other thoughts down in other places so that you can kind of like have a reference. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care. Bye-bye.